everybody. Welcome to Little's Lab. My name is Kim. I am a community learning specialist at Do Space. And today we are talking, it's our last week that we are talking about constructing and engineering. So that's been our theme all month long. We've been talking about learning about what constructing and engineering is. So that's what we've been talking about this month. And so today's our last month for that. So let's go over that one more time. What does that mean? What does it mean to construct or engineer? Let's start with construct. Do you know what construct means? Maybe you know and you want to share that with the people in your family or with that you're watching with. Yeah, I bet you've heard of the word construct before, maybe when we talk about construction sites or construction workers, or if we talk about construction paper. And what do those all have in common? Do you know? What's similar about all those? Yeah, are things being built? Yeah, construction workers help build things. Construction sites are where things are being built. You build with construction paper. So yeah, so that is where things are, people and buildings are being built. And so construct is just another fancy word for build. And then engineer, that might be a trickier word for you. You might have heard the word engineer before, but you might not know exactly what that means, and that's okay. So the best way to explain, I think, is, everything gets built, right? Whether it's houses or buildings or, roads, things like that, but even like tables, plates, couches, TVs, your toys that you play with, those are all built as well. They don't just appear, right? Somebody had to build them. Something had to build them. And before they're even built, somebody had to think about how they were going to be built, right? So somebody had to make up a design or had to come up with a way of how these things were going to be built. And people that plan out in their heads, they might draw it out on a piece of paper, or they might, make something on a computer. People that think about what they want to make and then either make the instructions on how to make it or make it themselves, those people are called engineers. So you can, and the funny thing about engineers, you can be an engineer, you can be somebody who thinks about wanting to make something and then make it, or you can, something can be engineered. It can be something you do, like I engineered this myself. So yeah, so that's kind of what engineer is. And I bet you've been an engineer before. I bet you've been a construction worker before. I bet you've built something, and I bet you've been an engineer. I bet you've thought about something that you've wanted to make, whether it be with like blocks or Legos or with paper or with paint, or even maybe with food or sticks outside. What about a fort? Maybe like a pillow fort. I bet you have been an engineer. If there's something you've engineered, there's something you've thought about and then you built it, let me know in the chat. I would love to hear about what you've been engineering. Or share with the people that you're watching this with. You can absolutely do that too. Yeah, so today, as we talk about engineering, we are going to read a book that's is going to kind of let us know what a construction worker does. What do construction workers do at construction sites? So I have a little book that's going to talk about that. We're going to help out a construction worker as he makes a school. And then I have a really cool app called Hoopa City, and it is a little fun app that you could build your own city with, you can design your own city. So you're kind of being an engineer because you get to design or kind of come up with how this little city or town works. It looks like with placing roads or houses or hospitals or ponds, things like that. So you're going to be kind of like an engineer in trying to plan a city. So let's get started. So yeah, before we get started with our activities, I want us to take a look at our calendar. Our calendar is so good to help us with our numbers and our days of the week and even our letters. So I'm going to share with you my screen, and we are going to go to our calendar today. So we are on Starfall calendar, and if you're new to Little's Lab, you might not if you're new, which I don't think, I think all of our friends I've seen in our attendee list have been with us before, but usually if we're here at Do Space doing Little's Lab, then we have a big touchscreen like monitor or TV that I have us go through, and our website, our Starfall calendar. I really like this calendar because it kind of is interactive. You can kind of do different things through all as you go through the website. And so I can't really do that with you guys, right? Because you're not here in the building with me, but I want you to pretend with me. Can you guys do that? Can you use your imagination and pretend with me? So I want you to pretend to help me out to go through our website. So you, for example, you should see a big white triangle right here in the middle. And I want you to go ahead and either click or with a mouse or touch with your finger, go ahead and touch that white triangle. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, go. Did the screen change for you? I bet it did. Yeah. So you should see on your screen the name of the month that we're in. And then this is the name of our year. And so I want to know if you know what the first letter of our month is called. So this is our month, right? And what is this very, very first letter of our month? Do you know what our first letter of our month is called? If you said our letter J, you would be correct. It is our letter J. So this is our letter J. That makes the J sound. And our letter J is the very first letter of our month that we're in. And do you know that what month what we're in? Do you guys know what month we are in? We have a lot of months that start with this letter J. And we are looking for the month of June. We are in the month of June. So we are in the month of June. That starts with our letter J. And then this is our year. We are in the year 2020. So 2020. That is our year that we're in. Perfect. So let's go ahead and move on. You should see a big green arrow in the bottom right-hand corner right down here. Can you go ahead and touch that arrow for me or click it? Excellent. Yeah, so right now you should now see our month of June. And so we have our month of June right up here. This is 2020. And then you should see our 7 days of the week. We have 7 days of the week that we repeat every week, right? We repeat them every week and every month, all year long, every year. So it is so important to know our 7 days of the week. And so let's say those all together. You say them with the people that you're with. I'm going to say them with you. And let's say them all together. And let's start with Sunday. So we have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So those are our 7 days of the week. And how many of you know what our today is? Do you know what today's day of the week is? Here's a hint. Our calendar has it kind of goldy and sparkly, and there's a hand pointing to it. It comes after Monday, but before Wednesday. It is our day of the week is Tuesday. That is right. Today is Tuesday. All of these days of the week are Tuesday. So can you go ahead and touch that Tuesday for us? Let's touch that Tuesday. Excellent. So today is Tuesday. All of these are our Tuesdays. That's our day of the week. Our month is called June. And then this is our date today, right down here, this big number. And this is a really big number. Do you know what that number is? If you don't, that's okay. It's a really big number. But there are 2 numbers that make up this. Maybe let's talk about the 2 numbers. So we have, what's this very first number? Do you know what this very first number right here is? This one. Is that our number 3? Yeah, that's right. It's our number 3. And then do you know what the second number that makes up our big number? It's our 0, right? So when a 3 is in front of a 0, that number is 30. We are on our 30th day of June. And not only that, it's our very last day. Look, we don't have any other days left in June. Tomorrow, we're going to be in a brand new month. So today is our very, very last day of June. Perfect. Okay, so let's touch this green arrow one more time. So we need to put our Tuesday and our 30th back on the right parts of our calendar. Can you do that with me? I'm gonna drag where our Tuesday where it needs to go. Can you help me drag our Tuesday where it needs to go? Oop. Didn't quite get that. There we go. We got there our Tuesday and our days of the week. Let's put our 30th where it needs to go. Can you put our 30th where it needs to go? Excellent. And let's touch this green arrow one more time. Perfect. So yeah, like I said, this is our month of June. We are on our very, very last day of June. And I like this calendar because a lot of times we'll have little pictures or icons that kind of tell us what our special days, and we don't have a lot going on in our month of June. But we have a couple of days that were special. So on Saturday, June 20th, you can see we have a little picture of a tree. And that is because it was our very first day of summer. That was our first day of summer. So we have 4 seasons, right? We have spring, summer, fall, and winter. And I bet if you thought about like the very beginning of the month, you probably thought we were definitely in summer because it was hot. Whew, it was so hot outside, and people are like, we're on summer break, but we were not technically in summer, in our season of summer until the Saturday, the 20th. So not only was that our first day of summer, our first day of a brand new season, it was also called our summer solstice. That day was also our summer solstice. And that's a fancy word, right? Well, that just means it was our longest day of the year. So that means the sun rose the very earliest in the morning and it set in the very latest in the evening. So we had the longest day of the year, the most sunshine, the most time that our sun was up. That is what our summer solstice is. And so after that, so every day after that summer solstice, our days have started to become a little bit shorter. So the sun is now coming up a little bit later in the morning, and it's now setting a little bit earlier in the evening. I bet you don't notice too much, but in a month, you'll notice that our sun is maybe setting a little bit earlier. Yeah. And then the very next day after that, on Sunday, June 21st, was Father's Day, right? That's a day that we celebrate those important guys in our life, you know, maybe our fathers, stepfathers, grandfathers, brothers, anybody that kind of helps raise us. There's just those special guys in our life, right? And so that was a special day to help celebrate those people, our special guys. And then I like to talk about our birthdays because everybody has a birthday, right? I have a birthday, you have a birthday, but do you have a birthday in our month of June? I don't have a birthday in June. Mine's not for a couple more months. Do you have a birthday in our month of June? I know we have a friend whose birthday was on the 20th. He turned 6 years old, and so I'm going to put a piece of cake on our 20th because I know we had a friend whose birthday was on the 20th. Did anybody else have a birthday in our month of June? No. And if you don't, that's okay. If maybe you think about it, write it in the chat. Perfect. Okay, friends, we are going to get going on our construction. Like I said, we are talking about, we're kind of focusing on our word construct, right? And so I am going to, let's see, make sure that you can, there we go, perfect. Just double checking you can see what I can see. So I have this story, and it's called Let's Meet a Construction Worker by Bridget Hias. And it is a little story about how what to learn about what construction workers do. And so there is going to be a class, a school classroom that visits a construction site. And we're going to see what a construction worker does. And what do you think a construction worker does? What do you think they do? You know, we kind of talked about this before. They build things, right? And so what kind of things do you think, you know, what do they build? What do you think they're going to build? Let's find out to see what this construction worker is going to build. And let's meet a construction worker. So our class is taking a field trip. We're visiting a construction zone. and Mr. Moore greets us. I bet this guy right here is Mr. Moore. He is the boss here. He's going to show us how construction workers build a brand new building. And he says we have to stay outside the fence, and only workers are only in the construction zone. So they are outside the fence, and inside the fence is called the construction zone. And so they're going to stay outside the fence. Let's see what they learn. This isn't just any construction site. It's our brand new school, but right now it's mostly dirt. Awesome, Aiden says. We can play King of the Hill at recess. He's thinking about this big dirt pile, right? And Mr. Moore smiles and he says, all this dirt will be flat. You'll have a playground on top. So even though there's a lot of dirt right now, it's going to look like this really soon. We see lots of trucks. Some work with big metal teeth and have strong arms. Like this one. This has some big metal teeth and a strong arm. And the trucks don't do all the work. People are inside. They steer and they guide heavy loads. So we have all of our construction workers inside our trucks and our big machines doing some heavy work. Mr. Moore used to be a carpenter. He helped build things with wood, and later he was the lead carpenter. Now he is the leader of all the workers. He follows plans that an architect created. Together, the workers turn those plans into a building. Oh, you may have remembered we talked about an architect earlier this month. Do you guys remember what an architect is? An architect is somebody who specifically designs how a building is going to look and be built. So people who are architects, they specifically work on buildings and design how buildings are going to look and how they're going to be built. So these construction workers, they are looking at the plans. These are called blueprints right down here. And so our Mr. Moore is looking at the blueprint or the design that the architect made to know how to build what they need to make. Mr. Moore's number one job is keeping people safe. He makes sure workers wear hard hats and to protect their heads. They wear orange safety vests so others can see them easily. And the beep beep, a construction mixer beeps as it backs up. The beeping helps keep everyone safe. Workers know to move out of the truck's path when they hear it. So this one goes beep, beep. A concrete mixer beeps as it backs up. So I bet if you've ever seen a big machine as it like reverses, it goes beep, beep, beep. And that is to let people know so they don't get hurt, right? Wet concrete flows through a long pipe to the ground. This will be our school floor. So this is the concrete mixer, and all that concrete is going right down here on the school floor. Will we sink into it? Luke asks. Mr. Moore says the concrete will be dry and hardened. Then carpets and rugs will go on top. Some workers work high above the ground. Masons build the walls with bricks, and someone runs wires for electricity through the walls. So masons are the people that build the outside with bricks. They are the brick workers. And then there are people called electricians who wire the whole building. So there's lights and all of that, because it would be really hard to learn without lights, right? Without electricity. So they will crunch a few blocks or a few bricks break, and they will be recycled. So will leftover metal, wood, cardboard, and concrete. So anything that they don't use, they're going to recycle and reuse, which is so good. So nothing will be wasted. He unrolls our school drawing. Solar panels on the roof will take in energy from the sun, and this energy will power our computers, lights, and more. We've talked about solar panels before, right? So they are things that help. They take all of the rays from the sun, which is just energy, right? And it goes into these what are called panels, or kind of rectangular flat pieces, and that is then turned into electricity. And so this is going to be really good because um, it helps. That's a really good way to power a school or a building. It's really good for our earth, solar energy. We can't wait for our sunny green school to be finished because Mr. Moore lend a hand to build our new school. We give him a hand. They're all clapping and yelling, going, yay. Oh, that's the end. Oh. So yeah. So there's a lot going on in this construction site, right? It takes a lot of work to be a construction worker and to work on a construction site and to build a building. So there's a lot that goes into it, right? It's really, really important work, people who are construction workers. Perfect. Well, friends, we are going to move on to our app that I have planned for us, and it's called Hoopa City, Hoopa City. So I am actually, right now I'm on my computer, and I'm going to transfer to what you see to be on our handy dandy iPad because the app is on my iPad. So what we are going to do, I just realized I forgot to do something so important so that you can see what I'm going to show you. Okay, we are going to do, I'm going to stop sharing this. There we go. Okay. Sometimes you forget things, right? And that's okay. So, okay. So we should be able to share. There we go. So you should now be able to see my iPad. So you should be able to see it kind of flip back and forth. These are all the apps that we use for our Little Zeb iPad, which is so many. And today we are going to use the one right in the middle that's called Hoopa City. Perfect. So yeah, this is a really fun little app, and you can build a whole town with it, which is a lot of fun. So I'm going to press the triangle right in the middle, the yellow triangle right in the middle. We're going to start building our city. Okay, I'm going to press that plus right there on the right because that's going to tell us we're going to build a brand new town for our Hoopla City. Hoopa City. I want to say Hoopla, but it's Hoopa. Okay. Oh, look at our little friend. Oh, we have a couple little friends. What do we need to do first? Let's see. It looks like we have a lot of options at the top. Let's start with, I'm going to start with building a road. What I'm going to do is I can just touch any of the squares and that will help build a road. And so maybe I'm going to build it just like this, and I'm going to put a few more right over here. So this is going to be the main road of my city. So now I have a nice road for maybe, look at that, like a little ice cream truck. But I think we need some houses. What do you think? Do you think we need some houses? Every good city or town needs houses, right? So you should be able to see like a brick to the right of our road, that one right there. And so maybe we'll put some houses right there. Oh, little houses being constructed. We'll have a nice little neighborhood right over here on the corner of this road. Because it's nice to have neighborhoods. That makes you have neighbors. And I bet, people that have neighbors, a lot of times there are friends that you can play with. So we have a nice little neighborhood. But then we might also need some buildings like shops. A lot of good cities and towns have little shops that people can. So I'm going to, you should see it on the left-hand side, our star that is green now. I'm going to put some shops up because that is good. It helps, shops help gain money for our city, and that's really good. But I also, you know what else is really good for a town? I think we need a great park or a lake because it is so nice to visit a little pond, right? So I'm gonna put up, or yeah, I'm gonna put some green flowers up here. And oh my goodness, I made a park. Look at that. I made like a little flower farm or park. That's so nice, right? Oh, and then you know what else I'm gonna put up? I'm gonna put, we need, I have this little heart. And if we, every good town, what if happens if you get sick? You go to the hospital, right? So let's put up a hospital so that people have a place to go if they get sick. And then I'm gonna try this. I think this is the one where, that's not what I, maybe let's try this one. I forget, but they all do. There we go. I knew one of them made a little lake. So how about this? I'm gonna change that. So now we kind of have like a little farm and a little lake, so a nice little park. And then, but you know what we were talking about? At our construction site, there are people called electricians because we need energy for our buildings so that we have lights and things like that. So I think we need to make some things to help us with our electricity. And so these are called, we are putting up, they're called wind, basically wind turbines, and they help create energy by using the wind. So the wind turns those. I bet you've seen those. If you've ever gone out driving in parts of Nebraska, or if you've ever been to, I know parts of Kansas because I'm from Kansas. I know a lot of parts of Kansas have these wind turbines. So the wind blows the big fins and it spins them, which helps create some energy. What else do we need to do? I think we might need another little house. Do we need another house right here? I think we might need another little house right there. Let's see what else if we make a, so we have another hospital. Yeah, we have a lot of hospitals. Do you think our town has that many hospitals? I don't think so. And if I touch this little spade right here, I can actually remove some things. So, oh, accidentally got rid of one of our shops. So yeah, so this is a really fun little, and I believe we wanted to, we should be able to move over. Look at that. Now we have so much more. And so you can do so many things. You can make so many different, and I wonder if we do a set of 4. It's a big neighborhood, right? We'll make our way from over here. So yeah, I bet you could just build and engineer your very own town and make it look exactly like you want it to. And see, I think all of these little people are so very happy. Look at all of our members of the community that are so very happy in our city. Well, perfect. So friends, yeah, again, this app is called Hoopa City, and it's a fun app that just helps you create and construct and engineer your very own town. So basically, people who design towns, they're called city planners, and they're engineers in themselves because they think about how a town needs to be, how they want their town to look, and then they help plan and help get things built the way they want to. So you could be your own little city planner and be your own engineer in this fun app. Excellent. Okay, friends, so I am going to stop sharing for the time being and go back to me because we are right about out of time for Little's Lab. So thank you so much for joining me today for Little's Lab. Like I said, today's our last month, or last day for Let's Construct and Engineer. So next month, in our month of July, that also starts with our letter J, we are going to be doing experiments. So we're going to be kind of talking a little bit about science, and we're going to be doing some experiments. Now, if you join us on Saturdays, we're not going to have Little's Lab on July the 4th. Our DoSpace is going to be closed, but we'll start having, our next Little's Lab is going to be on July 7th, so next Tuesday. So I hope to see you then. I hope you guys have a good day, and we'll see you later. Bye.